welcome back to my channel. Today I thought we would do a 2-page home scrapbook layout. The paper that I'm using for today is from Scrapbook.com. For my main paper, it's from Simple Stories, and it's the Hickory Cream Grid. And I'm also using from, I don't know where this one's from. I accidentally cut it, but this one's from Summer Farmhouse Paper Collection. It's called Sweet Summer. And from Photo Play, I have Solids plus Red. Now for my main paper, it actually measures 11.5 by 11.5. And I inked everything today with my Stampin' Up! Early Espresso. Now, after I cut it at 11.5 by 11.5, I took off 2 inches off of it in order to go ahead and flip it around. Let's see here. Like this. So again, all I did was just cut off the bottom, and I just cut it at 2 inches. Now I'm going to just go ahead and tape it with my ATG. And I'll go ahead and glue it down to a piece of 12 by 12 craft cardstock paper, and I'll glue it down with my zip dry. Next, I do have 3 pieces for my first layer. For my top piece, it does measure 11.5 by 3/4. Then I just have a piece of cream colored cardstock from, I forgot what it's called, but it's just cream colored cardstock. This one measures 1/8, and then I do have a border that I ended up stretching out to be 11.5. And for my next page, I do have it ready. Next, I do have 3 photo frames. For my small frame, it does measure 5.5 by 5.5, and on my silhouette, I did do internal offset. Now for the inside, it measures 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, and I do have 2 of my bigger frames. They do measure 5.5 by 6.5, and on my silhouette I did do internal offset. And for the inside, it measures 5 by 4 1/4. One of them has a little journaling card. Put one here. One here and one down here. Next, I do have 2 windows. My windows measure 4 by 4, and now the top part, I have it on foam tape, and the background, I actually have it laid down flat just to give it a bit of dimension. And I do have 2, and this is actually from a Christmas file that I used on a layout last year. I think it was my I forgot what I named it. 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, but it's the one where Santa Claus is actually peeking in. So I just used the window. On my silhouette, I actually have a file for just accessories like tables and windows, just anything you would use either outside or inside, and that I could always, you know, since I like to do scene layouts, I just have, you know, windows there, my tables there, my chairs there, and it's just so easy for me when I'm trying to do something quick like this. And that's where I cut and paste it, but it's from Cuddly Designs. From that same file that I just mentioned, I actually just cut and paste my table and my 2 chairs. For my table, it actually measures 2.5 by 6 1/4, and my chairs measure 3 3/4 by 2 1/4. And I think these chairs, I've had them for a while, but I think these chairs are from the Silhouette store. Next, I do have my pizza box. It does measure 4 by 1 3/4, and the actual pizza part, I actually popped it up on a thin layer of foam tape. And this pizza box is actually from Marjorie and Designs. This is the one that I use, the file that I came with. It was a Valentine's Day layout, and I just cut and paste the pizza box. Actually, it was in that same file that I have everything saved for, like, accessories. And I'll put it right here. From that same file that I have all of this saved, I actually have 2 lemonades, and this is actually from Miss Cake Cuttables. And I did pop it up on a thin layer of foam tape, and I actually use glossy accents on the lemonade, not sure if you could tell, just to make it seem like there are actually cups. And when you use glossy accents on some things, they actually bend a little bit, so I'm trying to fix that. And I also have what goes on top. And lastly, I do have my little girl, my little boy. On their little faces, I did use peach keen stamps. For my girl, she does measure 3.5 by 3 1/8. For my little boy, he does measure 1 3/4 by 1.5. And my little boy is popped up on 1 thickness foam tape, just right here. This layout is actually for my sister-in-law and my brother, my older brother. My sister-in-law was telling me recently, she loves crafting, but she's just like a lot of people, don't really have time for it. She's the one I just made a layout for the drive-by baby shower. Drive-through, drive-by, I don't know what they're called. I think they're called drive-by baby shower. So she just had her second baby. He's 3 months now. And so my sister-in-law has 2 under 2. She has 2 under 2 and is a full-time student, taking 5 classes. And I don't know how she's doing it. So I decided to go ahead and make her a couple of layouts. I don't know if anybody else feels that way. Sometimes with all the pictures that I personally have of my kids, I get a little bit overwhelmed. And sometimes I just want to craft, you know, it's so relaxing. And I just don't, I would rather craft for somebody else sometimes than have to stress about crafting my own pictures. I'm not sure if anybody else feels that way. He is so cute, and I had such a hard time with his little paper pieces because they were so tiny, and to ink everything, good Lord. My little niece should be 2 in a couple of months. was recently asked, how do I get ideas for scrapbook layouts? Like what's my starting point? People would like me to go ahead and film all that, but honestly, with how my life is right now, it's actually very hard to film at all. So I would like to do more projects of me getting things ready, but I don't see it in anytime soon. So to give you an idea of how I get started, I mentioned it before, I turn on Netflix and then I just start creating layouts. I like to do scene layouts, so my basic formula is 11.5 by 11.5 for my main paper, and for the bottom, most of the times it'll serve as my grass. So usually, if you've noticed, I usually for the bottom part, it's either anywhere from 2 inches to about 4 inches, give or take. And I already have my background. So next would be my photo mats. So just like these background pieces for my furniture, I do have files saved for my frames, and I'll just go ahead and open that file, and pretty much I have so many of frames that I just go with whichever one looks nice at the time. No real reason why I pick these over other ones that I have. It's just whatever I haven't used in a while, go ahead and use it just to switch it up a little bit. And somebody mentioned to me, how do I decide how many frames to use in order to fit my pictures with all my pictures? So I don't worry about if I have enough frames to fit all the pictures, because I use flip flaps. I think that's what they're called, from you could go ahead and go too close to my heart. They sell flip flaps. And I just go ahead and stack up my pictures later on. So I don't base my layouts on how many pictures I have. I make my pictures fit my layouts. So some people might go ahead and fill up their whole scrapbook album with a bunch of, with quite a few photo mats and very little paper pieces. With me, I do the opposite. So again, I make my pictures fit my layout. Some people might find that strange. Ooh, too high. But it's pretty much, this is actually what works for me. It might not work for everybody. A lot of people actually might not even like that style, which is not a big deal. Again, this is just how I do my layouts. And I'm only mentioning this because it's actually a question I get quite often. And there you have it. This is my 2-page home scrapbook layout. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day.